Howdy all, got a night here. I finally got the last couple pieces of this modern Affinity deck I've been assembling, so I thought I would do a little deck tech on it and get some feedback from you guys. I apologize now if I sound a little nasally. I've got this nasty cold. I picked it up out in the woods going hunting, so that's all I caught. I caught a cold, no deer. But starting with the land base, we have one island, one mountain, and one academy runes. For those wondering, because of this is modern, people tend to use Path to Exile. So if one of my creatures get exiled, I get to actually search my library for basic land. So I have a couple in there. And the Academy Runes is for 2 mana. I can basically return an artifact card from my graveyard to the top of my library. So, always recycling. Land base uses 4 Glimmervoids, which basically it's land, tap, add a mana of any color to your mana pool. 4 Blinkmoth Nexus and 4 Inkmoth Nexus. Both kind of work like Mutavault. You pay 1 mana and it becomes a 1/1 flying Blinkmoth artifact creature. The Inkmoth ones have Infect, whereas the Blinkmoth ones don't. But I can tap on Blinkmoth Nexus and give it +1/+1, so I can make it bigger. And the last land in the mana base is 4 Darksteel Citadel, artifact land. So I believe it's one of the only legal artifact lands you can use. Going straight to spells, we're rocking 4 Galvanic Blast. It's a 1 mana, 1 mountain for 2 damage to target creature or player with Metalcraft. And instead of doing 2 damage, it does 4 damage if you control 3 or more artifacts. So 3 Thoughtcast. It's a 5 mana affinity for artifacts. So that means it costs 1 generic less for each artifact I have in play. So basically, I usually pay like 1 island for this, and I can draw 2 cards. And a pair of Blood Moons. It's an enchantment. Non-basic lands are mountains. It's kind of like giving myself the 1 island and the 1 mountain, just in case they needed it for something. I'll probably take out the mountain and just use 2 islands. But yeah, it really messes up an opponent not using non-basic lands. I'm running 4 Springleaf Drum. It's 1 mana or a 1 mana artifact. I tap this and tap an untapped creature I control, and I can add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool. 4 Cranial Plating. This is the backbone of the deck. It's a 2 mana to summon it, 1 mana to equip. Equip creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact I control. So that's pretty boss. And it has instant speed, like attaching, so like I can equip it, you know, for 2 swamps. Originally, if money was no object, I probably would have gone with 4 Mox Opal here. But at $35 a piece, yeah, I wasn't going to sink that kind of cash into it. So if I ever come across any, maybe, but I went with the cheaper alternative, Everflowing Chalice. It's a 0-cost artifact that can be kicked. Every time it's kicked for 2 mana, I can add a charge counter to it. And whenever I tap it, I add 1 generic mana for each charge counter on it to it. So, a cheaper alternative. Right into my creatures now, we have 4 Ornithopters, 0-cost, 0/2, artifact creature. I have 3 Memnites, 0-cost, 1/1, artifact creature. 3 Signal Pest. It's a 1 mana, 0/1 that has Battle Cry. Whenever this and other creatures attack, it gives all other attacking creatures +1/+0 till end of turn, and it can't be blocked. So, 3 Steel Overseer. It's a 2 mana for a 1/1 that whenever I choose to tap it, I put a 1/1 counter on each artifact creature I control. Makes my army much bigger. 3 Arcbound Ravagers. It's a 2/2, 0/0 with modular 1. Enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. I can sacrifice artifacts to it, putting 1/1 counters on him. And whenever he dies, I can move all the counters from him to another artifact creature I control. And finally, 4 Etched Champions. It's a 3 mana 2/2 with Metalcraft. And its Metalcraft is whenever I control 3 or more artifacts, Etched Champion gains protection from all colors. So this is the Affinity deck I made up. So far it works out really great. The only thing I've been thinking about doing is maybe dropping 1 Galvanic Blast for another Thoughtcast. But, or maybe dropping 1 of that for like another Memnite. But overall this deck works really well together. It's got great synergy. And mind you, it's modern, so yeah, it's a little OP. But fun deck. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to get some feedback. Well, that's all the time I have for now. Make sure to tap that like button, and let me know what you guys think. Got a night, signing out.